Welcome back to Apex Sci-Fi. We often think of lag as the enemy. In video games, a high ping means death. It means you shoot at a target but the target has already moved. It means you are playing in the past while your enemy is playing in the present. But in the vast distances of space warfare, lag isn't a bug. It's a law of physics. Light travels at 300,000 kilometers per second. That sounds fast. But if you are fighting an enemy 1 light minute away, you are seeing them where they were 60 seconds ago. You are shooting at a ghost. Most civilizations solve this with supercomputers that predict the future position of the enemy. They trust the math. But what happens when you fight a species that knows how to hack the math? What happens when humanity decides to weaponize the delay? Today's story is about the Battle of the Helios Gap, where the Terran Navy defeated a superior fleet not by being faster, but by being in 2 places at once. If you have ever blamed lag for losing a match, hit that like button. And if you want to see how we turned high ping into a tactical advantage, subscribe and turn on notifications. Syncing data streams? Connection unstable. High Admiral Xylos of the Vectra Ascendancy stared at the tactical plot. His eyes, cybernetically enhanced to process data streams directly, narrowed. Target acquired, the ship's AI logic core announced. Terran Cruiser Squadron. Designation, Ghost Wing. Range, 1.5 light seconds. Velocity, constant. Xylos clicked his mandibles. They are flying in a straight line? Do they not know we have tachyon predictors? We can calculate their position with 99.9% accuracy. The Vectra were masters of long-range combat. Their ships, the Vectors, were geometric needles of white ceramic, powered by singularities. They didn't miss. Their computers analyzed the vector, speed, and mass of enemy ships, calculated where they would be when the laser arrived and fired. It was a perfect system. Against rational enemies. Charge the Lance batteries, Xylos ordered. Target the lead ship. Let us end this primitive rebellion. On the view screen, the human ships appeared as blocky, gray silhouettes against the backdrop of the nebula. They were burning hard, engines glowing bright blue. They looked desperate. They looked like they were running away. Firing solution locked, logic core stated. Time to impact, 1.5 seconds. Fire. Beams of coherent anti-proton energy lanced out from the Vectra fleet. They crossed the 450,000 kilometers in a heartbeat. The math was perfect. The aim was true. The beams intersected the coordinates where the human ships had to be. But when the light cleared, there was no debris. The beams passed straight through the human ships. The ghost wing didn't explode. The ships shimmered, flickered like a bad video file, and then, they simply continued flying. Unharmed. Miss? Xylos asked, stunned. How can we miss? Did they jump? Negative, logic core processed rapidly. Sensors confirm the visual signature is still there. But the mass reading is fluctuating. It is almost 0. Are they cloaked? No. We can see them. They are emitting heat. They are emitting light. But the laser passed through them as if they were made of mist. Xylos growled. Recalibrate. They must have used a microwarp shunt to dodge. Fire again. Use a saturation pattern. The Vectra fleet fired again. Hundreds of beams. A grid of death. Again the beams passed through the human hulls. The ghost wing flickered but kept flying. They were invincible. They were ghosts. This is impossible. Xylos slammed his fist on the console. Physics does not allow intangibility. Are they phasing out of reality? What Xylos didn't know, what his perfect computer couldn't understand, was that he wasn't looking at a ship. He was looking at a light show. 3,000 kilometers below the visual plane, running dark, with all engines off and heat sinks at maximum, was the real UNS Phantom. Captain Elias Thorne sat in the dark bridge, illuminated only by the red glow of his cigar. Status of the decoys? Thorne asked quietly. Projectors are running hot, Captain, Lieutenant Sarah Vance reported. We are projecting a massive holographic signature to our previous vector. We are feeding them false heat, false radar returns, and false visuals. We are delaying the light. The lag tactic was a masterpiece of electronic warfare. The Phantom deployed a cloud of echo drones, tiny satellites equipped with high-intensity hollow emitters and thermal flares. These drones recreated the image and sensor footprint of the ship, but projected it 1.5 seconds behind the real ship's movement, or on a completely false trajectory. Because of the light speed delay, the Vectra sensors saw the fake light from the drones before they saw the real ship in the dark. They were shooting at a lag spike. Their capacitors are draining, Thorn noted, watching the enemy energy spikes on the passive sensors. They're getting frustrated. They're dumping everything into the ghosts. Admiral Xylos is hailing the ghosts, Vance chuckled. He's demanding they surrender. Let's answer him, Thorn grinned. From the real ship. On the Vectra bridge, Xylos was near panic. The ghost wing was closing in. Why won't they die? He screamed. Suddenly, a proximity alarm blared. Not from the front. From below. Warning, high energy spike detected. Vector, nadir. Range point blank. Below. Xylos looked down through the floor hologram. Darkness. Empty space. And then the darkness opened its eyes. Missile tubes. Hundreds of them. The real human fleet had drifted silently underneath the Vectra formation while the aliens were busy shooting at the light show above. Surprise, a voice crackled over the open channel. Fire, Thorn ordered. The UNS Phantom and her sister ships unleashed a torrent of sledgehammer kinetic torpedoes. The Vectra ships were looking the wrong way. Their shields were angled forward towards the decoys. Their point defense lasers were trying to shoot down holograms. Their bellies were exposed. The missiles struck. Boom boom boom. The impact was catastrophic. The Vectra frigates, fragile glass cannons, shattered under the kinetic impact. The dreadnought Apex Logic took a torpedo to the main drive cone. Xylos was thrown from his command chair as the ship spun. Where did they come from? He shrieked. They were in front of us. I saw them. You saw the past. Logic Core finally deduced, its voice slowing down as its processors fried. They manipulated the light cone. We were targeting a time-delayed echo. The real enemy was lurking in the present. Shields to ventral, Xylos ordered. But it was too late. The human fleet had already fired their second volley. Railgun slugs. The Phantom accelerated, rising from the nadir position like a shark surfacing to bite a swimmer. Thorn watched the destruction on his screen. The holograms, the ghost wing, were still flying happily in the distance, drawing fire from the confused automated turrets. Cut the projectors, Thorn said. Let's show them where we really are. Sarah typed a command. In the distance, the ghost wing vanished instantly. Simultaneously, the running lights on the Phantom turned on. To the Vectra, it looked like the human ships had instantly teleported 3,000 kilometers in zero time. Teleportation. Xylos gasped. They have tactical blink drives. No, sir, the sensor officer whispered, defeated. It was a trick. A magic trick. We were watching the wrong hand. The Phantom moved in for the kill. The railguns pounded the Apex Logic. We surrender. Xylos broadcasted. Cease fire. Your technology is beyond our comprehension. You bend space. Thorn picked up the mic. We don't bend space, Admiral. We just know how to edit the footage. Stand down and prepare to be boarded. The Vectra fleet powered down. They were defeated not by superior firepower, but by optical illusion. When the human boarding parties arrived, they found the Vectra engineers dissecting the sensor logs, trying to find the teleporter. They couldn't believe it was just a hologram and some drifting. To a species of pure logic, the idea of faking your position was a variable they couldn't compute. The lag tactic became a staple of Terran doctrine. Never trust your eyes, the instructors at the academy taught. In space, your eyes are lying to you. The light is old. The enemy is new. Human ships started painting 404 not found on their hulls. And the aliens? They learned to fear the empty space. Because when you fight humans, the empty space is usually where the gun is pointing. We proved that in a universe defined by the speed of light, the most dangerous weapon is the ability to keep the enemy in the dark. This has been Apex Sci-Fi. We all hate lag in video games. But in real life, a few seconds of delay can be the difference between a hit and a miss. If you think tricking an alien supercomputer with a hologram is peak human behavior, smash that like button. Comment below. If you could project a hologram of yourself anywhere, where would it be? Subscribe. And don't trust what you see. Connection reset.